Good morning and welcome to the O'Rourke Report, and let's dive right into it. Of course, last night was the final episode of Vanderpump Reunion, and I'm going to go into that in depth because I thought some very interesting things were revealed. And I kind of have to, I don't know, who am I crediting? Andy, the producers, the editors? It was their work which kind of forces this cast to be real. And so anyway, before I get into that, let's very quickly go into the Craig Kyle dust up over their, is it an alcoholic canned booze or something? I'm not sure what Loverboy is. What's its competitors? It's a competitor beer, or is it his competitor something else entirely? I have no idea. But whatever Loverboy is, apparently Craig is the spokesman of another. In this instance, it's an alcoholic seltzer. And Kyle went on to Watch What Happens Live, and he was quite a little bit more. Whatever's more than salty, that's what Kyle was. I mean, he out now called Craig a liar, which Craig. I don't think Craig has responded himself. I think the creators of the seltzer that Craig is representing quickly responded with some facts of their own by saying that Craig had dinner with Kyle, asked Kyle if he could invest in Loverboy. Kyle turned him down, and then Craig was very open that, if Kyle had agreed to let Craig invest, Craig would not go ahead with his plans to and obviously has an investor position in it, this other alcoholic seltzer. Oh, messy, messy, messy. And the fact that Kyle took direct shot, that I found was very interesting. So, another subject we've touched on before, haven't had any updates on the indictment. Is there going to be an indictment of Mr. Sean Combs? Um, Apparently, a grand jury has been impaneled, and it will be listening to uh, people who have filed suit against Mr. Combs, and this includes any ex relationships and business partners and all people who have been feeding the giant maw of gossip for the past month and a half on what he's allegedly done or not done. And they're actually how are going to testify, so there's going to have to be some sort of backup to their allegations. There just can't be allegations, there has to be proof. We are a country of laws. Sometimes I think we forget that. So, going to be interesting. I don't know that we'll hear any of the grand jury testimony. I think, is all grand jury testimony secret? I know there is some that is secret. I'm not sure, but it's going to be interesting now that this ball is starting to roll. His Mr. Combs's apology after that horrific video that was released, the one from 2016, where he's viciously kicking his girlfriend and dragging her around by the neck, and I just don't know that there's any excuse really you can put out there. He tells us now he's a changed person. He's been in therapy. Gee, then why did you continue to do it for the next, I don't know, 8 years? Gonna be a mess. Did he yank him? I don't think you're gonna talk yourself out of this. Don't think you're gonna do it. So, just a teeny tiny side note, Bravo related. Peter Thomas used to be married to Cynthia Bailey on Atlanta. Bit of a hound dog, went through her money, was investing in all these bars and losing a ton of money at the same time. He's on record of saying that he thinks Diddy's been set up, that it's all been a setup. You think so, Peter? And that's good to know. Okay. Huh. Other little thing I want to talk about, this one that just came in before I started this morning. Summer House Martha's Vineyard, which I watched. I loved the show, is on pause. I'm not, well, obviously, if they're on pause, it tells you there's something going on with the ratings. I did find it a little interesting. At first, it was announced that there was not going to be a reunion for the cast. And then one of the cast members was on. Well, it's just popped up here. No, no. One of the cast members was on Watch What Happens Live, and I think kind of said something about us not getting a reunion. Well, the next thing you know, they did have an in studio reunion like they used to do for Below Deck, everybody, on the set of Watch What Happens Live. It was a fairly lively reunion. I thought you saw a tremendous amount of openness, and especially people who really knew each other and got along. I mean, at one point, the whole cast was talking, everybody on stage, and Andy was kind of looking at the camera like, gee, what am I doing here? I mean, there's obviously a group of people who had some history and had some things to talk and laugh about. A little surprised that they're on pause. So anyway, that. Okay. Before we go on to VIP, can we kind of agree? And I think J Lo better think of this as well. Apparently, her movie that she put out that was supposed to, be the love story, her and Ben Affleck, which apparently is on. I can imagine any relationship that poor guy is in is on the skids. He's got some. He's got some real issues, and none of them include being a happily married man. Hmm, just saying. Maybe don't marry them anymore. But anyway, that movie tanked, then her album tanked, and now, and I shouldn't use tank. I'm sure she has a solid fan base, and now apparently some upcoming concert tour. The tickets aren't selling. It's time to pivot. Time to look elsewhere. She's a super talented lady and has got a million things going on for her. I think there goes my little Chloe investigating the cabinets again. Little Chloe Marie on patrol. So anyway, J Lo, it's time to pivot. You're smart, 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 and you've been around for a long time. And despite your early days with the aforementioned Sean Puffy Combs, I hope none of his stuff is rubbing off on her. I hope that's not what's going on. So that doesn't seem very fair if it is. Um, I don't think he was stupid enough to pull that shite with her because she was certainly, a star in her own right at the time. Well, anyway, we'll find more as the days go on. Let's go on to Vanderpump. Now, Vanderpump, it was the third and final episode of the reunion. And the producers slash editors slash Andy did something different than they'd done before. They withheld the final few minutes of the final episode. They withheld them to show to the cast to get their reaction. And if you recall, if you saw the final episode, they were all at some function up in San Francisco. I believe Sheena Shea was dancing in a gold outfit, good as gold, and I don't think there were any fracases. But at one point, Tom was attempting to talk to Ariana, and she utterly refused. She went over to the producer, and this was all filmed. Went off to the producers and basically said, I have no intention of being part of Tom Sandoval's redemption arc. Keep me out of it. I could care less. See ya, don't want to be ya. And she and her boyfriend, who she started dating, as somebody points out, 8 days after Scandal happened, they sail off into the sunset. Now, that leaves the cast absolutely furious. What the cast, I mean, Lala. Lala goes off on Ariana because Ariana's about to expose what they have all known and been working around and not showing to the camera for years. And it's the fact, and this comes out in the reunion after they watch everything. Lala goes off on Ariana for not playing the game. And their job is to talk and live their life in front of the camera. And indeed, that's what they're being paid for. That's what they agreed to be followed around by camera and show everything that's going on in their lives. This is a problem with the veteran cast. They learn how to hide things, and this cast has been hiding something for a long time. And after that clip is shown, we then cut to the reunion, and some real stuff starts coming out. And basically, what comes out is, and again, this is compliments of Lala, and she forces other people to admit that they were in on those conversations. She does like a dog with a bone, that one. They all knew for years that Tom and Ariana's relationship was a phone Malone relationship, but they only did it really for the cameras. They kept it up. It was their bread and butter. And, you know, so when it blew up, which it did in March of 23, the fact that they acted like a pack of hyenas going after Rachel, um, who at the time was Raquel Levis, like a pack of hyenas after Raquel, and a pack of hyenas after Sandoval, as though there was some beautiful love relationship that was torn asunder. Well, as they fully admit, they knew the relationship was a loveless relationship. Ariana, and I said this at the time, and I said it all along. Why is she getting so upset? She said she never wanted to marry him. She didn't want to have children. I'm questioning why you bought a house, but you should figure that shit out and get it resolved. At one point in the discussion, LVP is on the stage, of course, as the creator of the program. Andy asks LVP about her decision to not film with the ladies of Beverly Hills anymore. And LVP was like, once I was shut of these people, I was shut of them. I wasn't going to go to any reunion with these people. And sorry, I was a little interrupted by a text there. So LVP is saying it as delicately as she can, while not looking at Ariana, but the camera keeps cutting to Ariana to get a reaction to this conversation. Because in essence, LVP is saying, listen, you don't want to film with these people or anybody on this cast? Leave. You've got so much going on in your career right now. Which is also a conversation that somebody should be having with Teresa in New Jersey. You don't want to film with half the cast? Leave. Goodbye. Don't let see you and don't want to be you. Oh, God. We could go on and on about Teresa, that's for sure. So anyway, a lot of things were revealed. A lot of people were left in absolute, the ones with the looks of shock on their face, really, because if you recall, at the end of the final episode, they did this retrospective of what the cast looked like 11 years ago, what they look like now. They took each individual cast member and they did that comparison shot. And it was really kind of like a little tender and poignant and smacked of, okay, this looks like it's the final episode, people. And you could see Sheena Shea just in shock that she was not going to have this revenue stream or this exposure to whatever project she's involved in. Same thing with Lala. She's got another baby on the way. These all have bought million dollar plus houses in the valley. Oh, strange. I wonder why they did that. And it was really a little bit of a shock, even like a little that. I mean, I don't like this guy very much. I think he's a nasty drunk. Is James Kennedy, and I never really got on the subject of that his girlfriend. But boy, talk about someone who is only in it for the ride and the camera time. It's whatever her name is, Allie. Um, it just they were all in a state of shock a little bit that this was it appeared to be the final episode, and I think this also now explains why uh, Vanderpump Rules has been put on pause, because they all have to sit back and reflect and see where and how they have to change if they want this to continue, because I know the viewers are sick of it, sick of the same old. The and the fact that they, and now that we fully know that they work to hide things in the background and make them appear one way when they're actually another way. So very interesting. I gotta hand it to the producers, the editors, and Andy Cohen on this one. They actually have made the show something we are all talking about. And if anybody's got something they want to add on that, please put a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So, boom, I think we talked about it, didn't we? Can we all agree? Jay, that's going to be my new segment. Poor J-Lo. What you were doing ain't happening no more. Oh, just one little thing. One little thing I want to talk about here. I've mentioned her before as being a victim of Abby Lee Miller, this JoJo Siwa, who apparently has had an 18th birthday. Hard to believe she's been on, or she's been out there for 12 years. These were little kids when they were on that Dance Mom show, which made it more horrifying than anything, is to see how the mothers allowed their children to be treated by this Gorgon, as they said. What was that on Brideshead Revisited? That was Anthony Blanche. God. So anyway, she had an 18th birthday party, which she put on TikTok or she put on Instagram. I don't know what it was. And she looked a little bit unhinged. Little bit unhinged, I would say. So I think the damage that was done to these kids is, God, it's going to be years working it out. I just feel bad about it. So anyway, um, that's all I have today. And as always, if you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe button or hit the like button. That helps me out. And I appreciate your time as always. And thanks for watching.